What is up, my friends? My name is Echo, and today I'm here with Miracle Max inside of Rise of Kingdoms, and we're talking about the state of the game. KVK, we're talking about the Altar of Darkness, level 6 passes, the overwhelming strength of Kingdom 2, and just some general migration issues. A lot of topics to discuss in today's episode. I hope you guys enjoy this one, subscribe to the channel, and stay until the very end because I want you chiming in the comment section below with your thoughts on the topics that we're discussing today. But like I said, we're with Miracle Max today. How you doing, Max?
Hey, Echo, I'm doing great. How are you doing?
I'm very good. I'm happy to have you on the channel. And for those of you guys that don't know, I have had Miracle Max on the channel before. She has a YouTube channel of her own featuring Rise of Kingdoms, regular content, very informative stuff. You're definitely going to want to go check her out. So I'm going to leave a link in the description to her latest video, which I want you to go watch and comment on. I'll also be linking her channel at the end of this video as well. So go give her a look and say hi that the Echo fam sent you. But Max, what's going on? We're going to be talking about the state of the game today. We're starting with the Altar of Darkness, and you're kind of my expert on all these topics. So why don't you start us out here? What's going on with this Altar of Darkness?
All right. Well, the Altar of Darkness opened about 16 hours ago. And the way this structure functions is you go into the area surrounding it, and for 2 hours every 60 hours, you fight off anything that comes into your area, and you earn honor for your alliance and honor as an individual.
So
So,
you have to actually be on the game prepared for 2 hours straight.
yes,
Gotcha.
yes, you have to be in this zone and fighting, or at least a majority of the people who are there have to be on and fighting.
Okay. Well, that's
And
something about this game I've noticed is you have to actually be on for extended periods of time to participate in a lot of these events.
yes, this is not a 30-minute a day gamer kind
No.
of game. This is definitely a several hours a day commitment if you want to be anything more than a farmer. I mean, every game you can play casually, but if you want to play seriously, it is a big
Time commitment. But what's the problem
yes.
here with the Altar of Darkness?
Well, the problem is there's three things that you can receive points for. The first thing is when you're here at the Altar of Darkness, you get alliance and individual honor points. And those are calculating correctly, which is awesome.
Right?
The second thing you get is minute. There's an actual reward in the kingdom for minutes spent at these altars of darkness or the ancient ruins. And that number isn't calculating correct,
Okay, so there's
which
actually a fault going on right now. The program's actually not running properly, you're saying.
correct. And so, for example, I was there with 5 armies for the full 2 hours, and I got 5 minute credit.
Oh, okay.
And this only opens every 60 hours, so I don't get another chance to pick up those minutes for another almost 3 days.
Wow.
So a
Okay.
little bit frustrating. And then the other problem is one of the chronicles in this kingdom was to kill 20 dark stalkers, which is the name of the troops that pop up that you have to kill
Okay.
within a 24-hour period. Well, it didn't tally any of those. So we all stayed on for 2 hours, killed all the dark stalkers, and got 0 rewards for it.
Okay. Got you. Definitely a problem, especially when you're sinking that time into it. Is this something that Lilith already knows about? I'm sure it's going on in their support forum and they have ideas about it.
Yes, and I think we have to remember that Kingdoms 1 through 8 got this released early to them. And
Right.
in a lot of ways, we're functioning as a beta.
Yeah,
So
exactly. We're
we're
testing
finding
it
out the
all out.
problems.
Yep, exactly.
So we're trying to give them some grace in that, hoping they fix it soon.
Mm-hmm.
But it is frustrating. I
Yeah,
mean,
of course.
obviously we want it to.
But with that being said, Max, we did migrate here because we wanted to participate in these, even though we knew that they were kind of being beta tested here, although they're not actually calling it beta testing. So we,
Right.
we took that as something that we would anticipate that things may not be completely smooth just yet.
Correct.
Right.
And I'm okay with that.
Right. But it still sucks to not get your rewards when you put in 2 hours.
Yes, it does.
Yeah, I get that completely. All right, so are we ready to move on to level 6 passes, or are there more things you want to discuss about the Altar of
No,
Darkness?
I think we're good with that. We just hope that Lilith, and we just came off of a server reboot. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
hoping that was one of the things they dealt with in that, and we'll see in 60 hours.
Yep, we literally just logged in and the game was ready to go again. So hopefully, fingers crossed, that was fixed. If you have any details on any of this stuff, guys, let us know down below. But let's talk about the level 6 passes. And you said the overwhelming Kingdom 2 strength. Lots of yellow here in this kingdom. What's going on here?
Well, the final pass to get to the center of the map is level 6.
Mm-hmm.
And there are actually 8 of them that enter in the zone. And if you scroll out on the map, you're going to see that 6 of the 8 are under absolute control of yellow.
Mm-hmm.
And 2 of them, yellow has access to and will probably take and then allow fellow kingdoms that they have aligned themselves with to enter. So I don't know if we're going to see anything but yellow and a light smattering of blue in that center, which is pretty much how the whole map looks if you scroll out and look around. I mean,
I'm scrolling around right now. There is a lot of yellow. That is some dedication right there for governing land.
Yes, and if you go into the alliance rankings, the top 2 kingdoms come from Kingdom 2 out of all the kingdoms on the map.
Mm-hmm.
And the power is just so much greater than everybody else that I don't know how the map could look any way other than bright yellow. I mean, it's just the only possibility based on who has power.
Yeah, well, and this is an issue that we're going to talk about in a little bit as well, about why this is able to happen right now, right? So we're going to get into that in a little bit as well, but it has to do with migration. So you're telling me that yellow here, there's really no chance to kind of beat them unless if you kind of team up with them, become an affiliated alliance, and then kind of work together.
Correct. And I just looked at the alliance list, Echo. If you click on your icon, your logo, and then click under rankings, you're going to see that the top 3 alliances now are all Kingdom 2. And, if you have 6.7 billion power, and then 4 billion and 3.3 billion, I mean, how are these other alliances supposed to
compete?
Yeah,
it becomes difficult. Now, have you seen people, I mean, obviously there's the concern of people stacking kingdoms and stacking alliances with power players to just completely dominate the kingdoms, correct?
Yes, and it's happening. People are moving all over the place. I think migration is good in some ways, that it let people move away from maybe places they weren't happy, but it has made for some pretty unfair matchups on the maps.
Yeah, and this is something that I talked about months ago. Not saying I predict the future or anything, but I talked about how what happens, because then you couldn't transport, you couldn't migrate, you were stuck in your kingdom. And I was thinking, what happens if your kingdom just dies? What happens if just it fizzles out, people get bored, people stop playing, something takes over, and you can't play the game anymore. You're stuck in that kingdom, you can't go anywhere. So that was a huge problem, because you can't get yourself trapped in an account that you've spent tons of money on, tons of hours in. You have to be able to take it somewhere. So migration, I think, is important. But with anything like that, there's going to be pros and cons. And obviously, we're seeing one of the cons right now, and that is just overstacking of of a particular alliance or alliance family.
Right. And I think, let me be clear, before any migration happened, in Kingdom 1 through 8, Kingdom 2 was way stronger.
And what do you think the reasoning for this is? Just spenders in the kingdom?
Well, Kingdom 1 became the kingdom that was a jumping kingdom.
Okay.
Players just came in there to get Richard or Yi Seong-Yi, and then they left. A lot of these early kingdoms died. Players got bored. They finished the Lost Temple 6 months ago.
Yeah,
and
crazy.
They got bored, so they either quit playing the game or they started a new account in another kingdom and have played on that. So a lot of these just became dead accounts. It looks like on the entire map, maybe Kingdom 2 and Kingdom 5 are the only kingdoms that continue to play and stay together. And so they would be more powerful because of that.
Right, of course, because they kept grinding and gaining power over time while other kingdoms kind of stopped.
And you and I met in Kingdom 55, and we've
Yes.
both left it since then. And I know it had big alliances leave it, and
Mm-hmm.
that significantly hurt it.
Yeah, and
Um,
that was one of which I was part of. And when you're with one of those alliances, things are great. But I remember when I was not in that alliance, you can get bullied around. If you're not with an alliance in this game that can protect you or that has the numbers to protect you, the game can be difficult at times when you're trying to grind and you're getting whatever you're grinding taken from you. Um, but I actually came over here and migrated over here to create content for what's going on, such as exactly what we're talking about right now. And I didn't know whether I was going to go back to 55. I actually planned on going back to 55. And now I'm just kind of hanging out here to be part of these events and see all these things that are coming to the game. I don't know where I'm going to be in the next month's time, but I guess maybe I should follow you, Max. What do you think? You're my knowledge.
well, and I'm actually covering three kingdoms right now: Kingdom 2, 135, and 157.
Mm-hmm.
So I've got some choices for you when you're ready to look for it.
That sounds good to me. So tell me more. We talked about the Altar of Darkness. We talked about the level 6 passes and how yellow is completely dominating them. We talked about the overwhelming strength. And are there any other issues, or I guess we could even talk about the positive things that come with the kingdom migration that's, become available?
Right. Well, and I think, like you said, if you're in an alliance that's getting bullied
Mm-hmm.
horribly in your kingdom, your whole alliance can jump. And it is awesome to be able to just start fresh with new people if you've had a bad experience.
Right. So
Um,
you don't feel stuck.
right. And I think, one thing to talk about is if you look at the Chronicles, which unfortunately isn't showing on the map right now, for
Mm-hmm.
some reason at the reboot, it didn't come back up.
Right.
But the very last Chronicle says we'll be coming back to the Lost Kingdom again to meet new opponents. And I really like that. And I'm hoping it works something like the Ark of Osiris, where you're matched up based on your power against people of equal power. Because that would be fun to face a Lost Kingdom where you have 8 kingdoms that are all about the same level
Yes.
and make it more about skill rather than, who's got the most T5. I'm looking forward to that.
Mm-hmm. And sides, I agree with you completely because your matchups are a little bit more even. They're a little bit more calculated. Since all of this migration stuff, have you seen it impact Ark of Osiris in any way or no?
I have not yet. We were moving right in the middle of this last Ark of Osiris, and I've noticed that in the last Ark of Osiris, they actually added power rank for players.
Mm-hmm.
So, they are going much deeper in their matching capabilities. It's not just your full alliance power; it's based on your top
Individual.
players.
Yep.
Kind of like Clash of Clans that we've seen. The top 5 accounts, those power play in
Yep.
a lot more. So the same kind of mechanisms, just trying to create fair battle.
Right. And it's more fun when it's fair battle. And if we want to compare it to Clash of Clans, there's a matchmaking system so that the clans that you're matched up with for war are supposed to be in some way even and fair so that it's a good experience for everyone. When it's not, it makes it difficult. And I've seen some Ark of Osiris battles where the scores were completely, lopsided. And it could be because of play style, it could be because of people who are learning, or it could be because of the power differences between the people that are getting matched up together as well.
Right, and as we know from both games, you can't put a numeric score to skill. I mean,
Exactly.
you and I might have the same commanders and the same troops, but depending on how we use them,
Yeah.
we can be way more successful. So I'd love to see these battles come down to skill
Mm-hmm.
rather than come down to how much money you've put into the game.
Yeah, well, it's a game of, this is a game of power. You either have to put in money to progress quickly or time and grind to get to that same point. You could do it in either way. It's possible, but it takes time. And I feel like this genre of game is really focused on power and on that grind and getting yourself to those power levels. And I just put out a video on maxing my City Hall to City Hall 25, and in that I showed the amount of resources and the time it took to actually get that City Hall to that level. And I think it was 60 something days with help from my alliance, with a couple of runes to help me along the way. I think it was 64 days just to get my city hall to level 25. So that's an example, and not even the best example, because some of the research makes that look like nothing. It's a good example. It takes a grind, and that's with many games of this genre. I don't think that Rise of Kingdoms is the one strategy game that requires you to put this amount of grind in, or to be a pay to progress player either. I think it's just kind of with the genre, and a lot of people that get into this game either are new to this genre and don't understand that yet, or they understand it and they know that they're going to either grind or they're going to have to open up their wallets and spend some money on the game. And the cool thing is there's always deals and opportunities to get more value for the resources and things that you're purchasing, which is nice to see. But I don't know, maybe I'm rambling on. Am I rambling on, Max? If I am, you can tell
You're
me.
good. No, it's, I think it's funny. I remember in Clash of Clans, the first time I saw an update of 14 days, and I was shocked.
Yeah.
And yeah, I've seen 100 plus days in this game
Yeah.
several times now. And yes, this is a long-term game. This isn't a I jumped on, played for a month. I think we hit 7 months now, Echo.
I'm at 7 months. Yes, I'm at
Yes.
7 months. But I don't know. It's a grind, but for me, that's my favorite part about this game. I'm not as in the trenches as you are in the battles. I definitely jump in there and help out my alliance, but not like you do. And I'm more about the grind because it's just something that I enjoy doing. I like being one of the more casual farmers and gatherers in the game and getting my research up. Speaking of, in what am I at right now? Let's go to my academy here, Max. I have about 6 days left, and I am working on, I don't even know what it is I'm working on right now. Let's see. It's been so long since I actually checked it out. I'm going to impress you right here, Max, okay? I'm working on encampment, getting it to 8 of 10.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I'm trying to get to tier 5. I'm trying to get to tier 5
Are you
here.
maxed before that?
Oh, no. Stop that now. Stop that. I mean, no, I'm not. When you watch this video back and actually could see everything, I'm scrolling through it right now. But I did my best. It takes time, Max. Are you maxed out before that?
Oh gosh, no. But
okay.
I can tell you that to get to tier 5, you do have to max out pretty much everything.
I'm trying to figure out as I go what I don't have to max to get to tier 5. So I'm kind of just meeting the requirements as I go. And then I always have to, jump back a few steps because I realize, I have to get that done before I could do this. But, tier 5 is the goal. And I wonder, what's the upgrade time? It doesn't show the upgrade time here. It talks about the resources you need, about 10 million of each to get tier 5, but it doesn't show me the time it takes. So
yeah, I don't have that either.
But hey, listen to this. We talked about a topic we didn't even plan on talking about in this video today, which is part of the fun of hooking up with someone and doing collaborations like this, because you actually get the banter and general discussion. That kind of makes it more fun for me to make, hopefully you guys to listen to. So Max, before we head out of here, I want you to tell everyone a little bit about you and your YouTube channel. What's going on over there?
All right. Well, like I said, I'm covering for Kingdom 2, Kingdom 135, and Kingdom 157. And I'm trying to record all the major events that are going on. I am, like Echo, I am a teacher and a tutor by trade. So if you watch my content, expect it to be information rich and more of a how-to. I don't have the exciting graphics or the yelling and screaming at the screen, but I do want to make the game easier to understand players. So anything I can help explain, that's where my focus is on the game right now.
Right. And if I didn't value your content or your knowledge of the game, I wouldn't have you in a video of my own. So that's me vouching for the content that you're putting out on the channel. I mean, I learned from watching your own videos as well. So why not have you here? And the plan is, guys, and this is a tentative plan, but I'm going to try and have Max come back weekly with me on the channel, maybe doing some type of a new player guide, commander guide, or even just what's happening in the game right now. Maybe we'll do a little state of the game series. I'm not really sure how it's going to go because we're just starting this up, but lots of collaborations happening here on my channel. And what again I'm going to ask you to do is please make sure you head over to Max's channel, check out what she's got going on, and if you like her videos, subscribe and leave a comment to them. And of course, if you enjoy my content, throw a big thumbs up on it, sub for regular Rise of Kingdoms videos. Remember, I am a sponsored creator for Rise of Kingdoms. And with that being said, Max, any last things you want to say to everyone before we head on out?
You know, I just want to tell you, enjoy the Lost Kingdom. This is something we waited months and months for. So spend some time on it. Get out there, kill barbs, gather. The rewards are amazing, and it's all about how much time you put into it. So don't be shy. Get on there and contribute.
What she's saying is sleepless nights. Don't sleep during the Lost Kingdom. Stay up.
It's only 58 days. Who needs sleep for 58 days?
What's
right?
2 months? What's 2 months? Don't sleep, guys. Get in the game. That's actually a joke. Make sure you sleep. But for now, guys, that's it. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed this episode. If you do, I want you to tell me below. Let me know if you want Max to come back on the channel again. And I guess I'll see you back here later on today with another video. Until then, guys, be good.